What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Bird Flock podcast. Shayner, we went back-to-back weeks here. We did not miss a week in between these two, so I'm fired up for that. How we doing?
I'm chilling, man. I mean, fired up to be, like you said, doing this back-to-back weeks. The summer grind is kind of obviously slowed down here with me back in school, so a lot easier to be doing these podcasts post-summer.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What I'm not fired up about, everyone who's listening here for the Montreal Alouettes. Your Montreal Alouettes have dropped 4 straight. Dropped another one to the Toronto Argonauts. And the worst part is it's another game they should have won.
Yep.
They were in position to win, and I don't know what the fuck happened. Some bad mistakes down the line, a bad field goal attempt to send it to overtime, and the rest is history. Your Alouettes dropped to below 500 for, I think, the first time this year. And I will say, there are brighter times ahead.
Way brighter.
Way brighter times ahead. So the Owls' newest player and an absolute dog, to quote Pat McAfee, dog. He went on record to say that he thinks the Owls are going to win out, and the Owls are going to go, and the Owls are going to win the Grey Cup. And this is my message for Darnell. Darnell, I 100% agree. Okay, we lost 4 straight to the 3 best teams in the CFL. I will give you that. And down the line, we are going to have to beat those teams. But I think at one point or another throughout the year, all 3 of those teams that we've lost to, because we've only lost to 3 teams. We've lost 7 games to 3 teams. We've shown an ability to beat every single one of them. We can hang with every single one of them. And like we've said for the last 4 episodes, you don't want to be on the other side of a Noel Thorpe defense come October, November. You just don't want to be. But let's get into last Friday's game against the Toronto Argonauts. Shayner, you were in attendance. I was fresh off a flight from Vegas and not feeling myself too hot, so I did not make the trip up to Percival Molson, but you were there. Talk me through a little bit about what you saw in the game, vibe in Percival Molson, everything.
Dude, the vibe was actually electric. I think obviously this is our second year owning season tickets, but we've obviously been to Alouette games a lot in our lives. There's just something different about the vibe in the stadium this year, and I'm gonna assume that's based on what the new owners are doing and the way they're marketing the team and getting the tickets out. But just like the fourth quarter when all the flashlights come out
on a
Friday night in the background, it's just so fire, man. And you could see that the team obviously feeds off it because they're standing up on the bench, they're getting the crowd going and everything. And that's what they needed in a big game like that. Unfortunately, they didn't close it out because the Alouettes refused to run the ball even when they're up by 7 with 2 minutes left. But what do I know? But yeah, these players you could definitely see feeding off it. And dude, even Sankey, he came in and he didn't miss a beat and he was getting that crowd going. And man, the crowd was loving it. Dude, he was there and on the field, he was hyping the crowd and the crowd was hyping him back. And it was just electric vibes in the stadium. But obviously on the field, like you said before, a game that, they probably should have closed out.
Yep.
But we saw what we talked about last week. What a difference it makes to have all these guys back in the lineup on that defense. Because that defense, once again, balled out. Insane. And everyone was saying, Toronto didn't play their best game. No, they didn't. But you also got to give Montreal's defense credit that they came in the week after getting absolutely ripped apart by that offense.
Yep.
They came back with most of their starters back, a new addition in Sankey, and they just didn't miss a beat. And they were fantastic and proved that once again, this team can go far based on this defense.
100%. And I always hate when people say Toronto didn't play their best game or whoever didn't play their best game. There's a reason they couldn't play their best game. It's because the defense stepped up.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Obviously, there was mistakes along the way and mental errors and things like that. But there's a reason. Everything in football happens for a reason, right? And to say, oh, they didn't play their best game. Yeah, it's because we played great defense. Um, but yeah, I want to jump into a little bit of just that last drive, or I guess second to last drive when Cody threw that pick. Um, where do we? And again, we're Al's fans through and through. But where do you kind of assign some of that blame on that play? Is it the O line? Is it Cody? Is it the play calling?
Look, and obviously a lot of people know that we're doing this now. So I get a lot of texts after the game
Yeah.
from people and be like, what the hell was that? And it happens every game. And the same answer I had every single time was go back and watch that play. If Cody can get his feet under him and does not get smoked on that play, that ball is going where it needs to be. The reason that ball dies 10, 15 yards short is because that guy came off the edge and absolutely ripped him right in the ribs.
Yeah.
It's the answer I gave to everybody. Not a lot of people like that answer, but that is the answer of what happened. So I think it has to go on the O-line. I hate keep blaming the O-line, but that play does not happen. That ball gets to where it has to be if he doesn't get picked. It also just so happened that it might be one of the best corners in the CFL that was standing there waiting for that ball to hit his head.
I mean, let's be real. Me and you could have picked that off. That was like you said, that died 10 or 15 yards short. And again, at first glance, me as a fan, I look at it, I say, oh my God, Cody just threw away the game. But as a podcast host for the Montreal Alouettes and an actual football fan, you look back at the replay once and you say, oh, okay. If he has half a second more, like you said, to get his feet under him, that's not happening. But I think it just goes back to play calling and clock management again, right? Like we shouldn't have been in a position, first of all, where I think that was second and long after a sack or something. Wasn't it like second and 12 or something like that?
Yeah.
I just don't see us how you can be in that position after blowing a 7-point lead. Like it just doesn't compute. Like there shouldn't be even a debate of, I don't know. I'm not making much sense, but just the play calling near the end of that game in general just rubbed me the wrong way because again, it was in the palm of your hands. I don't think you needed to go out and earn it. I think you just needed to hold on, and to be able to do that and not even do that is tough. It's tough.
And this goes back to like the stand back thing of us talking about last week why stand back was so important. I think if stand backs in that game, they're handing him the ball both times and just saying, you know what, if we don't get that first down, at least we killed a minute or whatever off the clock just by running the ball.
100%. 100%. Like that's a game where the worst case scenario is you go to overtime. That is the worst. That should be the worst case scenario. And then the Owls somehow got blessed and got the ball back. And
they had a great drive.
Blocked. Yeah, great drive. Had the field goal blocked. And again, kind of on the flip to, I know it's not the starting O-line out there for field goal, but I think people are very quick to blame the O-line. That ball's not getting there.
That was a low ball.
That was a line drive that was not getting over the line.
If the ball's getting blocked at the line, not someone getting through and blocking it, odds are that ball was low.
Yeah, 100% it was low.
It was also like a 50-yard field goal. That ball needs to be high straight off the foot.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it was not.
Yeah, 100%. But there was some good things to take away from this game. Don't get me wrong. The biggest thing for me, and I'll let you touch on your biggest takeaway from the game, but I think it was the Tyson Philpott coming out party, right? Injured the first half of the season, right? Was slow to get rolling last year, right? Obviously a rookie in the CFL, just picking up on the intricacies of playing professional football. Was slow to get going back from injury this year. And I think we just saw the Tyson Philpott that had 150 yards in the Eastern Championship last year, or the East Final. We saw the same Tyson Philpott, and knowing him and knowing, how he can build that relationship with the quarterback and all that, I think this is what we're going to be seeing for the rest of the year. And I think, as much as I not hate to say it, but I think he's becoming that second option that Keon was before he went out. And I think he's going to get a lot of these, check downs and go make a play and things like that. Not to say Keon's not going to get the rock, because he's dangerous too. But I think it was just a big coming out party and something this offense desperately needed.
Yeah, and I think we in past weeks had focused so much on, oh, when is Tyson going to break out because Kaon's not there? Like he's going to be the guy now. I think having Kaon back opened it up for Tyson.
Yeah.
Because if you watched, obviously, Mac was the guy they were focusing on. Mac is going to be the guy that every team's focusing on, based on the way he's played
As it
in
should
his
be.
yeah, based on the way he's played in his first CFL year. But then if you look at the way the start of the year went, it was okay, Kaon's always open somewhere. So now teams need to find a way to stop Kaon. You're stopping two guys, you can't stop a third.
No.
I think that's exactly what happened, and then it opened up the middle of the field. Kind of the same way that when Kaon was out, the middle of the field was open for Sneed, and Tyson couldn't get open. Not that he couldn't get open, but was not a big, someone that Cody was looking at often.
Yeah.
Now it's open for Tyson and Sneed. Now
Yeah.
it's two guys that are open kind of all the time on those drag routes and those under routes that are getting the first down because they're so good with the ball in their hands, where they could take a 3-yard pass and turn it to a 30-yard gain in the open field. So to have two of those guys has been amazing. And like you said, Kaon's obviously still going to get his 3, 4, 5 catches a game. He might not be putting up the 70 yards a game he was, but he's still going to be getting the ball, especially in this offense that just comes out and is obviously in the CFL. It's obviously a heavy passing league, but in this offense, they've obviously all year been way more of a passing team than a running team. So these receivers are going to get the ball. Austin Mack's still going to have his 70 yards a game. Kaon's still going to get his 4 or 5 catches. And now you're just adding Tyson and Sneed that are just so good with the ball in their hands that this offense, I think, is on the way to being an explosive offense if Cody is provided that time in the playoffs.
100%. And I mean, you look at like the receivers that we have in now and what they've done in the CFL this year. Let's call it the main 4, I guess. Let's call it Sneed, Austin Mack, Kaon Julian Grant, Tyson Philpott. Right? You have those 4 in the game, and you're telling me the run game isn't going to be wide open for you, right? Because the opposing defenses have absolutely no choice but to respect the pass game, and just the speed overall of our receivers. These are all burners, right? Maybe with the exception of Austin Mack, who's I wouldn't classify as a burner.
Yeah, but he's going up to get that ball if you're throwing a 50-50.
Exactly.
It's more like an 80-20 for
it is
for
an
Austin
80-20, 100%. But like the defense has to respect that. So if you're telling me the run game isn't there and we shouldn't be putting the ball in Stanback or Fletcher's or Antwi's hands 15 times a game, as opposed to maybe 5 or 6 or 7. I don't know. I think that's a problem. But I think
it is. They ran the ball combined 10 times, Fletcher and Antwi on Friday night.
Yep, that's not enough. Still not enough.
No.
Especially in a game where you're in a position to win and it's not like you're not playing from. We didn't play from behind that whole game, right? And if we were, it was a minimal deficit. It was never down 20. You know what I mean? You gotta put the ball in your running back's hands. You just have to. But again, a lot of positive to take away from the game. Did you have any other like main takeaways from Saturday's game or?
Only in Montreal does a fullback run a vertical route. Like, listen, I get it. You're trying to get options open and be creative. But why is James Tuck running a seam down the middle of the field? And I'm sure, and this is no disrespect to James Tuck. That's not what I'm doing. I'm sure if you ask James Tuck, that might be the first time in his career he ran a seam down the middle of the field.
But like, I also totally understand why he's on the field because he's an unbelievable blocker.
He's a great blocker. I get it.
Unbelievable.
And
but
if
you're in a situation like that,
flat,
if you're in a situation like that, though, put Reggie Sibasu back there at fullback and have him run a seam or a fucking Texas route out of the backfield or whatever it is. Have him in there. Because first of all, he's, I think, half a foot taller than James Tuck. He's fucking huge. And he's a fucking receiver. I like, and he's Canadian. So you can't even say it's a national thing. Reggie Sibasu's Canadian. Why wouldn't you have him in there for that situation?
Even if you wanted to use a straight up fullback on the team, when Dallaire caught that ball, he proved that he could catch a football. So let Dallaire do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not.
I think has been so underutilized on offense. I think he's going to be a stud.
He looked good with the ball in his hand on that one catch, and that's what I'm saying. Like if you want to have James Tuck involved in the passing game, leak him out to the flat, kind of check down for Cody. That's fine. Yeah. But why is he running a 15-yard route down the middle of the field? That I didn't understand.
No, I don't get it. And again, no knock on him. Guy's a stud. Guy's
been great for us all year, blocking, keeping Cody upright. He's been good. He's done what he was signed on to do.
Yeah.
But that was not what he was signed to do.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But yeah, no, totally. But like I said, a lot of positive, and just the positive trajectory that we're going on, especially heading into the teams that we're playing, I think are really exciting. So as we know, tomorrow at the time of recording this, so Saturday, Owls take on the Stamps in Calgary. Never an easy place to play, but we've kind of had Calgary's number over the past few years, I would say, and Calgary has kind of gone down a little bit of a cliff. And then ending out the year back-to-back with Ottawa, which, again, undefeated against Ottawa this year. Then we finish off with the Elks and the Ticats. Listen, the Elks are the only one that scare me.
I just want to go out and say this. There's been a lot of disrespect going out in the last 4 weeks.
I want to bring this up.
It does not make sense. I do not care what has happened. How? I said that to you. How? In what world is Hamilton favored to host the first round of the playoffs over Montreal?
Makes no sense.
In what world? If you want to go back and watch the 2 games that Montreal played them, we whooped them. Like, in what world are they? I get it. You want to favor them? Okay, whatever. I don't get you favoring them. But if it was like 52-48, okay. But 71, almost 72% to 28 is absolutely a joke. It does not make sense. It absolutely makes zero sense.
No.
If you would have said like Hamilton split with Montreal, okay.
Sure, whatever. We have the same record. Sure, I'll give you 50-50.
Okay, but you look at it, week 2, Montreal beats them 38-12. Week whatever, 9, Montreal beats them 27-14.
These aren't close games.
No. Like, how is Hamilton favored over Montreal? Because Montreal just lost 4 in a row to the 3 best teams in the league?
Yeah, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Anyways, I think we go undefeated in this stretch without a doubt. We get hot. We beat Calgary this week. I think we beat Ottawa back-to-back with relative ease.
They also play Hamilton the last week of the year. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Montreal is going to have home field advantage locked up. They're not even.
I'm going to say Cody's not playing that game.
Yeah. And you're going to tell me that Hamilton it has a 71, almost 72% chance to host the playoff game.
Shut up.
Ridiculous.
Anyways. But yeah, we play Calgary this week. I don't think, like, everyone who watches this episode weekly, like, we know Shane and I will normally dive in, say our keys to the game. I don't think there's I don't really have keys to the game this week. I think if you play like you played last week, and you played like you played in pretty much this whole stance, with exception of maybe 2 weeks ago against Toronto, I think you beat Calgary. I think Calgary's not a very good team this year. But just run the damn ball is what I'll say. We say that every week. Just run the ball. And if God forbid the run game doesn't work, it sets up the pass game, right? Because they take that extra half second to think, oh, maybe I have to play the run here. And then on defense, I literally don't have a key. The defense has been balling out with the exception of 2 weeks ago against Toronto, but there's no key. They don't have to change anything.
No, and right now Calgary is eliminated. They have nothing to play for.
Nope.
So you just got to go in there, keep your foot on the gas, and let it rip. And when they played Calgary in week 8 in Montreal, Stanback ran for 86 yards. There's no reason that if healthy and if he's playing, I keep checking to see what's happening. I haven't found the depth chart yet, but there's no business that he can't do it again.
Nope.
He ran 15 times that game. I don't think I've seen him run 15 times any other game this year. So obviously they saw something that game that he can run 15 times for 86 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it again. And if it's not stand back, do it with Fletch and Antwi. Split the 15 or 20 between them.
Yeah.
Right now we're in the heart of the schedule where Cody doesn't have to be amazing to win.
Nope.
So kind of use the game reps for Cody as game reps in a way that he doesn't have to put too much on his shoulders. Because come playoff time, come in Toronto for the East Finals, he's going to have to be amazing.
100%.
So take the
we've seen the flashes. I know he can do it.
We definitely know he can do it.
But I agree. I have to agree. And then I just want to touch on one last thing before we kind of wrap up a little bit here, but it's the whole Edmonton. Edmonton's hot.
Straightforward, baby.
I don't know about you. Edmonton still doesn't scare me.
I don't know how, again, another thing that's just disrespectful. Them again over in Montreal in the power rankings. I don't know how.
You mean the team that lost 9 straight and like hadn't won at home in 3 years, and then
the team that everyone was saying by like week 10 that they were not going to win a game all year. Not week 10, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But that team that everyone was so scared wasn't going to win is now ranked
4th
above Montreal.
4th in the CFL.
Yeah, and they also still have the second worst record in the CFL.
Do they really?
They are eliminated from the playoffs and are sitting at 4-10.
They're 4-10.
They're 4-10.
Eliminated from the playoffs.
Eliminated from the playoffs, and they are the 4th team in the power rankings.
Oh my God, CFL, get your shit together, man.
Like,
hire your goddamn editors.
That's like putting Calgary at 4 because they have the same record. They're 4-9. Unbelievable. Like, how is this team 4-10 and they're sitting at 4th place in the power rankings?
It makes no sense.
No, like it's impossible to put a team that's already eliminated from the playoffs in a playoff spot in your power rankings. Like, it does not make sense, man.
Oh my God, that's horrible. I didn't know they were 4-10.
Yeah.
I thought they had 5 wins. And I didn't know they were eliminated from. Oh my God.
I don't think they're technically mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, but like they got to win out pretty much.
Which they won't.
No.
But they're not making the playoffs at 5.
They're playing
or 9 and 10.
They're playing well, they have the week off actually. No, they don't. They play BC tonight. They're not winning that game. They're playing at home, so they're definitely not winning that game.
Yeah.
So 4th in the power rankings, and Montreal's 5th with 6 wins.
But it's always like that. We saw, first of all, we saw it in the preseason power rankings. I think the Owls were ranked 8th. Okay, shut up. But also, like, they're not factoring in, especially in that probability of the Hamilton one. There's no way they're factoring in upcoming schedule. There's no way.
No.
Let me see. I want to see Hamilton's upcoming schedule. Hamilton plays
Toronto this week.
So that's an L probably.
Stampeders, Sask, Lions. They're losing probably 3 of those games.
2 or 3.
Yeah, and then Montreal.
Minimum. Oh, with Montreal, they're probably losing 3 or 4 games.
And then Montreal's their last game.
They're probably losing 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, I didn't count Montreal because we don't know who's going to be playing for Montreal in that game because Montreal will have a game.
Yeah, but fuck, like, shut up. Just shut up.
Unbelievable. I don't know who makes these for the CFL, but they got to be fired, man. I'm calling it. I've seen enough.
Anyways, I'm getting heated. I think we call it here.
Yeah, it's gonna get ugly if we keep going.
Yeah. Forget a CFL sponsorship ever. Ever. But Shaner, thank you as always for your time today.
I'm fired up for tomorrow's game, man.
I'm absolutely fired up.
Set the tone. Show them we're back, baby.
Absolutely. And if you're listening now, we're going to be posting a fire game day graphic tomorrow. Go blow that up. Go comment on it. Go drop it a like, share it. And share this episode with all your boyfriends, your girlfriends, your friends. And go Owls go. The Owls will be back to 500 when Shaner and I next talk to you guys. So have a great weekend.